Well, welcome everybody to Ignite Humanity Live. I'm your host, Lady JB Owen, and I'm so glad you are here. We're going to have a fabulous and fun show today. Welcome to the beginning of the week. It's Monday, and so we are stepping into the magnificence of this week, starting it off with great fun, joy, and excitement. And why are we here? Well, we want to inspire you to ignite humanity, for you to get excited about what's possible in your lives and the lives of others. We want to show you through incredible Ignite moments, those magical moments that change our lives. Every single person has one, an Ignite moment that made them do something different in their lives and ultimately set them on a trajectory of success and enjoyment. And those Ignite moments are powerful. They bring us together. They make us feel more connected. We really, truly get to know each other on a better level when we share an Ignite moment. And most of the time, those Ignite moments pull us forward into something wonderful in our lives. So with being Monday and all about start day, let's talk about start. How are you starting your week? How are you starting your day? How are you getting up each and every day and just starting with power and vigor and excitement? How do you move through the week? How do you move through life? How do you really grab hold of the things that matter to you and ignite them in your life? We're going to talk about that and much more with our fabulous guest that's here today. But before we do that, let's remind you, if you ever want to see any of our episodes and watch what we're doing at Ignite Humanity Live, you can go onto our platform. All of our episodes are free and available to you. I absolutely love the giving nature, and I want you to watch the show and see all of our many guests that are sharing about ways that they've ignited humanity in different degrees, different ideas, different modalities, because they had an Ignite moment that woke them up, and that is making a ripple effect around the planet. Now, if you want to know what we're up to, go check out our website, because we're igniting humanity all over the place, and we're having people from all different walks of life come and be on the show and talk to you, because I believe something somebody says here on this show is going to spark in you the desire to do more in your life, and that is ultimately going to make a big impact. All right, well, I want to bring in my guest, because we've got so much to talk about, and she is an amazing individual. Absolutely love and adore her. Diana Wentworth is a New York Times best-selling and award-winning author of 10 books, including a popular romantic memoir, Send Me Someone, A True Story of Love Here and Hereafter. She was the first co-author with Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen in the popular book series, I think you've heard of it, Chicken Soup for the Soul, sold over 500 million copies. She hosted a television series, The New Way Gourmet, with her late husband, Paul Vaughn. Oh my gosh, I'm going to say, well, Lynette, we'll ask her how to say that properly. It's so interesting. You know, I say it properly before the show, and then when I get on the show, I get all, how does that happen? Diana has always sparked delight in bringing people together for enjoyment and upliftment. And these days, she's offering online courses, individual coaching, and hosting women's wisdom circles. Diana reminds us to use joy as a compass to manifest our great potential in our lives. She's a wonderful individual. I'm so excited to talk with her. Diana, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Well,
Please forgive me. My brain just goes like, how do you say your husband's last name?
well,
Annette. All right. Well, that's a little bit of, I'll take the blonde excuse on that one. Thank you for being here. I know you could be anywhere else on the planet, and you're here right now, and it means the world to me, because you are an icon. You're a legend. You have this incredible tenacity, this beautiful spirit, like really someone I deeply admire. And I just want our folks who are watching to really know that you've done a lot. You've been through a lot. You've come through a lot. You've accomplished a lot. Is there one thing that you're most proud of?
Oh, I think the Inside Edge, which was one of the first real networking organizations. And it's where Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen got to know each other.
Right.
And Louise Hay and Dr. Susan Jeffers and Dr. Barbara DeAngelis. And I used to give parties where you had to show up as who you'd be in 5 years. And Jack Canfield recently said at our 35th anniversary, he said that he had taken that idea and used it to close every training he'd given ever since. So I think that really touches my heart.
You know, that's really a great concept. So show up at a party who you want to be in 5 years from now.
And you have to stay in character. You have to tell everybody how you got there, all the steps you took, and everything else. It's really fun.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. And so curious, showing up on Ignite Humanity Live. In 5 years from now, who's Diana Wentworth?
Oh God, I will be 87.
What?
So God willing, I will be here.
Yes, amen.
But I think that I'll have more than I'm just finishing my 11th, 12th, and 13th books.
Congrats to you.
So maybe there'll be 14 by then. And I will have said that I had the best life anybody could ever ask for. Honest, I mean that. It has been a miracle, my life.
What a great sentiment. Now, I'm sure there's somebody watching who is like, how can she say that? You know, life is tough, life is hard. I literally yesterday was at the passport office and the lady said, I don't know if you're going to get your passport in time. And I said, oh no, God is good. He'll get it in time. And she said, no, he's not. And I was like, wow, you know,
Whoa.
she was really in this negative space. And
Yeah.
so I sent her a lot of compassion through the rest of our interaction as I got my passport. But it really made me realize that there are some people who are just struggling every single day. And when you say I've had the best life and someone else is saying, how's that possible? Was there some steps? Was there some belief system? Was there an attitude, a mindset that helped you be where you are today, feeling so strongly about the life that you've led?
Well, I think I understood from being very young, even, that there was magic afoot.
Mm,
There really, things began to happen in my life that were so extraordinary and so completely impossible that I became a true believer. And then I also discovered that it's very, very important that we very clearly ask what I call quantum questions,
mm,
so that we are putting ourselves in the space of having already received whatever we're asking for, so that there's an energy and a vibration. And your dear lady in the store yesterday somehow hasn't noticed that it's very, very important to be the vibration of what we want to bring into our lives. And I just can't rave enough about all of the magic that's shown up.
Well, it's neat that you say that because it correlates right back to what you said about showing up who you want to be 5 years from now. In that you see it, you believe it, you envision it, and you put out the vibration, and so that vibration radiates outward and then is reflected back. Is that some of the idea? Is that what you put out, you boomerang back towards you?
Well, there's a saying that, angels cannot support us if we don't ask. They don't
Mm,
have free will. So I not only ask, but I figure out what is the best question for the day. First thing when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is smile, because that gives our body the idea to put out all those good hormones. And then instead of just, well, what do I have to do today? Which is very mundane, and it's just your worry list, really. I say, how can the most magic show up today? How can I most effectively light this world?
mm.
Amaze me. I'm really speaking to the quantum, which is all that is. And I don't think we understand very much about it. I certainly understand that my lost loved ones, I've been widowed twice, that they're very much still with me, and that there's all sorts of invisible help available. And my life would not be what it is if I didn't access that and believe in that and be able to receive it and listen to it.
How easy of a practice is that? Monday today, all about idea days. Folks, great idea. Wake up tomorrow morning and ask, how can life show up and light up, and how can magic unfold? I do something similar, Diana. I wake up every morning and I say, what's going to make me happy today? And I wait for my body to actually tell me. I don't think it
Mm,
through. And I actually do it kind of before I wake up, still when I'm in that little not quite awake mode.
mhm.
And then I commit to doing whatever that was. So if it was like go for a run or go to yoga, or spend some time with the kids, or just lay out in the backyard, I really listen to it and commit to it, because you and I both know if you're not your word to yourself, the universe is not going to be its word to you, or there's not going to be that reciprocation. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because you've committed to a lot of projects, you've committed to a lot of things, you've had a lot of results. Can you talk about the power of commitment and commitment to self?
I think, well, commitment is everything. I learned years ago, I attended something called impact seminars, and we really had to create a goal that scared the heck out of us. And we had to do it in 3 weeks. It had to happen. And that's where I met Jack Canfield and Dr. Barbara DeAngelis. They were 6 o'clock in the morning. There we were in a basement of a church in Hollywood before anybody had written a book. And we just really learned that all that counts is the action you take. So if
Right.
you have all these considerations, you talk yourself out of it. And we were so scared, and we had to come up with the most amazing goals in just 3 weeks. So Paul and I decided that we were in the food business. We had a TV show, and we really wanted to have some money being raised. So we decided to approach a housewares company, Krupp's it was, and ask them for $100,000 to have videos in all the housewares departments of all the department stores.
Wow.
And they said, okay. We wouldn't even have thought of the question if we weren't, on the line. And so we had to come up with another goal. And we've been hired by Abraham Strauss, a department store in New York City, to bring the top 6 chefs from Los Angeles to New York and to create a whole lot of hoopla about Los Angeles. Everybody was interested in the food of LA. We had to write a book called LA Cuisine. And we actually got that book done in the next 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
So that blew
Incredible.
our minds. After that, we realized we could do anything we really committed to.
It's so true. Like you bust the glass ceiling of what you think is possible. And once you do that, you feel like, well, I did it then, I can do it again, I can do it again. Or hey, what's even higher? People sometimes criticize me. They're like, you have such big goals, you have such big ideas. And I always say, like, yeah, I set the bar really big because if I come up short, it's still pretty magnificent. It's still pretty fun. If I
Exactly.
set the bar really low and I come up short, it's really low. And so I love to set a big bar because it makes you strive, it makes you work
Mhm.
harder. And I love what you said, like why not like really rattle your what you're used to, that the thing that you just, I do that all the time, like really shake it up and move into like what could I do. And so folks, think about, in honor of Diana, what could you do in the next 3 weeks that would like really really shake it up for you, like really be that wonderful thing. You
Mhm.
talked a little bit about magic. Do you sometimes feel like you have a magic wand and you can sort of stir and create and manifest what it is you're looking for?
I do. I think wonder is a magic wand. Moving into a state of wonder takes us out of our negative thinking. I wonder how this can magnificently turn out, and
Mhm,
just I think that there's just an expansiveness that's a vibration that allows us to think be outside of the box.
mhm.
I
And
think
how,
that's the magic wand, probably.
right, because how it was always done doesn't mean how it has to be done. And I think if you look at all the great visionaries and all the great leaders, the great inventors, they've always looked at how it's been done and then thought, well, how can it be done differently? And I will ask you more on a practical level, is there something you could suggest to people that they could do today, literally the moment this show is over, some practical ideas that they could do to sort of just start moving their lives more in the direction of that wonderment and that magnificence?
Oh gosh. I would put on some music. I have this little machine here. And it surprises me by talking back to me sometimes, but I keep a list of all the music that most uplifts me. And then I dance around. There's something called Jerusalema, which is really fun. You put that has a great beat, and I dance around to that. And then by the time that's done, I think that I'm in that creative space again. I've freshened my mind, and that's the most practical thing I can probably pass
It's,
along.
yeah, I mean, it's a great idea. Music does shift the energy, and so much of what we're talking about is energy and creating a vibration and an energy towards what you want. Let me
Mhm.
shift gears a little bit. Successful author, 10-time New York Times bestseller. There may be some people listening who have an idea. Any suggestions you have for writers and aspiring authors?
Oh gosh, I could go on for hours about that because I often work with people on developing their books, or I teach writing classes a lot. And journal writing, I think it has been the most valuable thing to me over the years. I've learned to create dialogues not only with departed loved ones or the divine, but even with work, even with the job of writing a book. So you can sit and make a list of everything that has led you up to writing this book or whatever your project is. And it's like 10 stepping stones that have brought you to this place. And then write a clarifying statement, which is what this book is going to be, why this is your essence and not your ego, which is a
Mm-hmm.
real distinction. And then you begin to dialogue with, because time is not something we can explain. That book already exists somewhere in time.
Amen.
So you can bring that book to you. I would often talk to my finished book and ask it to tell me how it wants to end, I mean, and keep this a really deep, authentic inquiry. And I think you'll be really happy with some of what's revealed.
I always say that a book is a life force and it's out there, it's an entity. And I always say that people, if you have an idea to write a book, it's because somebody is calling to read that book. There's somebody out there who needs that book. So I love the same energy around
Mhm.
that. It isn't about the ego. There's a point where you transcend your writing into being for you to being for the reader. And there's there's a change there. There's a shift there. And it's a really beautiful process. You
Let me say,
definitely write for,
can I
sorry.
tell you one more tip that's fantastic? Um, I use a product called Newcom, which takes me into a very creative space. You use earphones, and in the morning I get back in bed, I listen to this, and it takes me into alpha and more. And I begin dictating on my phone, and I can do up to 3,000 words in the morning that is very conversational, and I haven't even gotten out of bed yet. So I had to make that little plug because it's so magical. That's one of the most magical things in my life.
Yeah, and I know you told me about it before, and I wanted to share it with my husband also because I think that you do want to create a great state for yourself when you're writing because you are sharing, and that's excellent. I want to remind myself because I also listen to binaural beats when I'm writing, and it just helps me get into flow. So many great ideas, great ideas. So let me dip in a little bit to an Ignite moment. You know, I love to ask Ignite moments. That's what the show is really about. What was the Ignite moment in your life that helped lead you to now where you are such an advocate for humanity? You're helping so many individuals. Was there something that was sort of that kickoff point for you?
Yes, it was a huge shift. My first late husband and I were in the culinary business. As you know, we wrote 6 cookbooks, and it was falling apart because women went into the workforce back in 1985, and it was the height of the Cold War. We'd lost our love for it because our audiences were 4,000 people at a time, in stadiums. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't about gathering people around the table anymore and having deep conversations and heart connections and all that. So we were invited to be part of a documentary that went into the Soviet Union, and we traveled there with Swami Satchidananda and the real Patch Adams and Barbara Marx Hubbard and Dennis Weaver and all of these activists at the height of the Cold War to create dialogues with Soviet citizens for a documentary. And it changed my life because I realized that as we sat around the tables, these people began sharing their resources with each other. Alan Cohen, the author, was there. And he would say, I want to do this. And somebody would say, well, I know so-and-so, I'll introduce you to. And all of a sudden I thought, oh my God, we don't have to cook the food to put people together for humanity, for great things. So we came back, we started the Inside Edge, which met from 6:30 to 8:30 in the morning. We had 1,500 speakers over the years, everybody you could possibly name. Wayne Dyer was on our board of advisors. I mean, it was the most fulfilling, satisfying thing. And when I look back at my life, it was like these people met there and their lives changed forever. There were
Wow.
marriages. Jack and Mark decided to do the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. It was just one book to start with, but and Dr. Susan Jeffers, I asked her to show up as who she would be in 5 years. So she showed up in a limousine with 3 mock books. And she said she had just returned from her 3rd New York Times bestseller tour. And she did it. she wrote Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, which was an international bestseller. And she did two more books in those 5 years. So um, that was that really that moment of just realizing that I didn't have to cook the food to
Right.
bring people together around their dreams. It was just great.
And there is a real vibration and a synergy when you get around like-minded people, when you're around people that are having big ideas or moving forward. And it's true that you can, and this really is what the show is about. You can do one small thing that creates a big ripple effect. And we're actually sometimes very neglectful of our moments, those magical moments. We let them slip by, or we let them go unnoticed, and we don't realize like that was the moment that it all could have happened, or that was the moment when a yes could have been a no, or a no should have been a yes, and can
Mhm.
change everything. Do you feel like people nowadays, I mean, you've been lovingly throughout the decades watching humanity change. Do you feel like there's one thing that's going to really move the needle to bring us more together as a collective?
I think what you're doing is hugely useful. It's really powerful. And the more of that, the more upliftment, the more encouragement, the more examples we have of people who light the world. I,
Yes.
I think that's the only thing that can really do it, JB. So
Thank you.
congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. I love showing up. I've had so many people say to me, like, what? You show up every morning, Monday to Friday? What? You keep doing? And I said, yeah, I actually really, really love it. I learn so much from my guests. I feel so much, energy going out into the planet. I have so many people give great feedback, and if just one person got one idea and
Mhm.
that sparked into something else, it's worth it. I know you've had those single ideas that have now become global and multi and wonderful. And I just want to thank you so much. We could talk forever. And the truth is, folks, Diana is going to be on my other show, the Legacy Lounge, that I do on Thursday nights. And she's going to be talking about building legacy, creating that legend mentality. And really, that isn't just for people who are wanting to have their name on the side of the wall. Legendary and legacy is all about people creating an impact that is going to filter out to other individuals. And so you can join us at the Legacy Lounge. We'll put it up on the screen, and find out how to get a backstage pass to join Diana and I on Thursday. Not this Thursday, but is it this? Not this Thursday, next Thursday. And Diana, let me ask you before we go, because I want people to know how to find you, how to hang out with you, how to play with you. What are some of the ways that they can dance with you and interact with you? Because you have so much wisdom and so
Oh,
much to
thank you. Well,
share.
please come dance with me.
I will. Next time I'm in LA, I'm coming over to your house.
Okay.
You have great music, and I'm sure you cook well. You have great food. I know you have a
Food.
great
Food is
view.
good.
And so, like, I'm coming over.
Yeah. No, my website is dianawentworth.com. And I do conduct these wonderful wisdom circles or private coaching on Zoom. And I love that more than anything, because now that I've been widowed twice, it's really just such a source of deep connection and contribution that I love so much. And I'm really good at spotting what can somebody a hidden talent in somebody that they're not realizing. And then there are lots of things that we offer, wisdom circles where you decide what you want for your encore in your life. And we have a 3-month program and a 9-month program about creating an encore project that is your legacy, that is something beyond what you've ever dreamed so far. And boy, have we had fun with women and doing that.
So, so beautiful. And before you go, is there some wisdom that you can pour into all of us? Just that wonderful words of wisdom from you that just speak directly to the heart.
Oh gosh, well, ask yourself of the question that was so important to me. Are you driven or are you drawn? And that just stopped me in my tracks in midlife and changed what I was doing. So I put my hand on my heart and I asked myself, Diana, are you driven or are you drawn? And that takes me home. So that's what
I
I.
love that. I really felt that because I can be very driven, and it's actually so much more inspiring to be drawn
Mhm.
and to be pulled forward and to be just really touched by the magic of what's possible.
Yeah.
I love chatting with you. You know, I'm just going to come over and like sit at the, and
Cool.
just look up. And
I love that more than anything. I can't tell you.
thank you so much. Well, I know that you've touched the lives of many throughout your books, throughout your sharing, throughout the many things you've done, the collaborations that you've created, and having you here on the show means so much to me. Thank you so much for being here. We love the work you're doing. And of course, we look forward to having you on the Legacy Lounge. Big blessings to you, my darling.
Thank you. Blessings.
Folks, you are so privileged to be enjoying the much wisdom from Miss Diana Wentworth. She's a beautiful human being, as you can tell, and so many great nuggets, so many interesting things, and so much inspiration. Dance, enjoy, get in touch with yourself. Ask yourself, who do you want to be 5 years from now? Show up being that person. I often say you got to be it to become it. So start being exactly who it is you want to be and live that life already. Attract that. And then just grab hold of that magic wand and make it unfold in your life. Well, big blessings to you. If you are doing something spectacular or even just moving the needle a little bit in igniting humanity, we want to showcase you. So please fill out our type form and tell us what you're up to so we too can have you on the show and you can ignite the lives of others. If you'd like to watch the interview with Diana again or any of our episodes, please go to our platform. Everything is available for free. That's my complete commitment to you. I want to make as much content possible and free to everyone on the planet so they can grab hold of these ideas of how to ignite humanity in their life. Now, if you'd like to do something to help children around the globe, we are building schools overseas in third world countries, and we're always looking for fabulous donations because every single dollar buys a brick to build one of our schools, and we are delighted to be building our first school in Indonesia and also in Pakistan. So much impact we can make in the lives of children by igniting literacy, so please be a part of that. Of course, if you're a mother, we want to just give you some blessings because Mother's Day here, there, everywhere, loving on to our mothers for the month of May and blessing all of you. And then last but not least, just come to ignitehumanity.life and check out what we're doing. We are creating a fantastic compilation book. Diana is going to be sharing a chapter in that book called Ignite Humanity. We love this major book. It's going to be our largest compilation book ever. We're going to make some big impact with that book, telling unique stories about Ignite moments and how you have stepped into igniting humanity. If you would like to be a part of that project, go to our website and you can find out more. Well, big blessings to you. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week. And remember, we're here every Monday. We're here at 9 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Eastern, here on Traverse TV. And you can also watch us on Ignite You on Facebook. All right, big hugs and kisses, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.